Hello, my name is Dr. Maya Byfield. My business is The Phenomenal STEMist. I'm so excited to be here in Orange County because it's where I live. I live in Apopka, Florida. And I decided to make this business because I saw a need for underrepresented students to be successful in STEM, which stands for science, technology, engineering, math. And the best way I can do that is just provide products for parents to prepare them, whether it's a book or online STEM camps or just video podcasting. My goal is to transform this community, especially those who are underrepresented. And the way to do that is to help parents understand their children's minds and basically develop them at different stages of their lives to be prepared for a successful STEM career. Thank you so much. That's why I'm here.
Professional.
Mm-hmm.
Professional. Okay, next
Get
one.
your market watcher. Get you a market watcher. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. All day.
Hey, it's the phenomenal STEMist. What's going on?
Yes,
What's going
ma'am.
on here with Before Closes
Yes,
for
ma'am.
another episode of Market Watchers? Market Watchers.
Reporting for duty. Oh, what that is? Yes, sir.
Seems
Yes,
like you got a
ma'am. Yes,
delay.
ma'am.
I think you got
Do
a delay.
I?
Yeah, hold on one second. Let me put you out. Come right back in. Hold on. Let me see. You
Okay,
here?
is this better? Is this better?
A
Still
little
delay?
bit. A little bit, but it's okay.
Okay. I could leave and come back if that'll help.
Nah. Um. Nah.
You gonna
It'll.
work with it?
Yeah, we're gonna work with it. It just
Okay.
like a little bit of a. I don't. Yeah, let's not hurt
Okay.
the live.
Okay. Okay. Let's do it. Let's do it. Happy New Year, Doc. Happy New Year. Happy
Happy
New
New
Year.
Year! Happy New Year! Happy New Year!
Yes, girl.
What's
Happy
going
first
on?
Monday of the year. Oh man, it's such a blessing. It's such a blessing. I'm just blown away that God allowed me to see one more year. I'm blown away. I don't know what to say.
Listen, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for another year. Um, cannot complain. Of course, my number one fan is in the house.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr.
Hey, Mrs.
Byfield.
B. Hey, Mama B. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
All's
so
well.
I'm so grateful. How was your New Year? We were talking about. I can't even remember. Did we do December? We did do December first Sunday.
We
I mean,
did.
first Monday. But it feels like so long ago.
The holidays will do that to you.
Oh my goodness!
The
But
holidays will do
but
that to
it is
you.
January. It is January, and we are gonna talk about New Year, new
Mm-hmm.
inventory,
Mm-hmm. New year, new
new
inventory. You
year,
already know.
new inventory. I think I remember you were talking about, oh, it's a buyer's market, and the best time to buy is during the holidays because everybody ain't buying. I remember that. That's what
We
I
had a
remember.
top five list. We had a top five list.
Top five list, top five. Man, it was just a month ago. I don't know. I'm getting old. I'm getting old.
No, you ain't getting no. This look again. It's the holidays, man. You have people coming over. You leave. You had all kinds of food. I think I put on a toddler's weight in food, in veggie meat, rice, all kinds of carbs. That I'm sure I'll pay for in the next coming month. But yeah, that's how it is. That's how it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. I lost some weight and I feel like I don't want to go on the scale 'cause I don't want to see what weight I gained back because I was just eating terrible. Even today,
just eating bad. But I'm gonna go back healthy again tomorrow, eating
Yes,
right
ma'am.
tomorrow.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. Tomorrow. We're gonna do it.
Tomorrow,
We're gonna do it
tomorrow,
tomorrow.
the day is done. The day is done. I had chocolate chip cookies. I had
Oh, come
Twix. I
on.
had it
Come
was
on.
come on, Maya. You got to be better than that. You got to do better than that. Sometimes, But let's start with market watchers. Talk to me. What's going on in the
All right.
market right now?
So right now, like the title of our session is today, New Year, New Inventory. The name of the game is inventory. We have a lot of inventory. If you check the stats, we're up 41% from this time last year. Not January, mind you. We're still looking at the stats from December and November. But for the November month of November until December's numbers come out, we are looking at a 41% raise in inventory, which is
Inventory.
crazy to me. That's a lot of homes
Homes.
on the plus side since last year. And it makes sense to me because the interest rates are still high. We have a lot of damaged homes on the market now from the hurricanes. Yeah. We've been seeing a
Mm.
lot of those over to our neighbors to the far west, right? St. Petersburg, Port Charlotte, pretty
Ah,
much any Port Charlotte to Pinellas County. We're going to see some damaged goods, and that's
got
what we're
you.
seeing hitting the market. So it's a big perfect storm of things happening at the same time.
Got it. I never thought about damaged goods as being included in the inventory. So you got to be very careful, about what you're purchasing and what your plans are in making sure that you can fix it or have the capability, things like that.
Make sure
Mm,
you make sure you got that handyman, that contractor in tow
got you.
before you purchase. Don't try to figure it out after you purchase because that's dollars, y'all. They
That's
want their
dollars.
money every month.
Mm-hmm.
Take it from me. Every month. They want that thing. Rain, hail, sleet, or snow. So it's always best to have your professionals lined up in advance so that as soon as you stroke that pen, you can get started. Day
Yeah.
one.
It's not a game, guys. It's not just, oh, I'm just gonna do this. It's easy. You gotta have your people. You gotta have your people and the right people, the skilled people, the professionals. The
Oh yeah.
professionals. Okay.
In fact,
Oh,
that might be February's that might be a good topic for February. Horror stories, rehab horror stories.
rehab.
Rehab horror stories. I might bring my homeboy on here. That's a contractor that he could tell me. I mean, he talk about stories. I got that brother got some stories.
Stories.
Yes,
It's not a game.
it's not.
It's not a game, guys. Yeah, you gotta. If you talking about flipping houses, renting out houses, you know, buying cheaper houses to rehab them, you gotta have your people. You gotta have the right people behind you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, what does high inventory mean
Yeah.
at
You
this
said
point?
41%.
41% up from last year. A couple of indications. Number one, aside from the high inventory, we also have high pending sales, which means homes are going under contract. So it's not all doom and gloom. There is some shimmer of light happening out there. If the pending homes, pending sales continue to rise, then that could be the one thing that staves off high inventory, right?
Mm,
Number of months of inventory. We're currently over 6 months of months of inventory. What does that mean? So
yeah.
months of inventory is a metric that real estate agents use to tell sellers how long it should take if we froze the market today and we had to sell all the homes in the Florida market or in the Orlando area, it would take over 6 months to sell everything.
Mm,
And on average, in our history, our market has been below 6 months. Now we're above 6 months for the first time in a
a long
very
time.
long time. I'd say maybe about a decade.
And that's what makes it a buyer's market because there's a
Right.
whole bunch of supply and not enough demand. I'm assuming
Right.
people want you have the houses out here, not a lot of people buying.
Right. 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 Right.
That's
Right.
what it means by having high inventory.
Yep. Yep. And then of course couple that with the holiday season.
Hmm.
It's still technically the holiday season till the second week of January. You got some stragglers that don't want to get off that cruise. They want to stay in St. Lucia.
You know what? I bought my first home, this home that I'm living in currently. I put a contract down. What do you mean? What do you call that when you put some money down, like $1,000
The
binder type
pot,
thing?
the earnest money deposit.
Yeah, binder, whatever you call it.
Hmm.
Martin Luther King Day,
Oh
January,
man, come
the
on.
Monday. I was off, and I came Sunday, looked at the place, and then I called my uncle. He's a realtor to come with me on Monday because I was off because for Martin Luther King Day.
Love it.
That was January what 15th. That his around his birthday. The Monday around his birthday.
Yeah.
Yep.
So when you first saw your home, what were your thoughts?
I had a horror story the year prior. I was trying to buy in October of the year prior, and my identity got stolen.
Oh no.
Yeah. They took my tax return. And so
Mm.
I didn't have a tax return to buy the house. It was
Oh
a
man.
short sale. Never forget it. I wanted a short sale townhome. It was 80,000. I was gonna get a good deal on it
Oh,
for a townhome.
80. Oh man. Look at
And it fell through because I always talk about how everything happens for a reason.
yes. Yes.
Don't trust God even when it was not your fault. I had perfect credit, right? But I didn't have a tax return. And
Mm.
the people, cash people were just
Mm.
it was a friend of mine that was willing to sell it to me and not to the cash people, but I had to have the money to buy it, but my bank wouldn't give me the money because I didn't have a tax return. Even though my credit was perfect.
Yeah. That's a stickler.
Um
That's a stickler. If
yeah,
whatever paperwork they want it,
I
and
got to have it.
they won't,
Don't
they won't
budge.
deviate. Yep.
So it was devastating, and I just sat, didn't do nothing. But then something though that Sabbath told me try again. And
Amen.
so I went to dinner at one of my mom's friends' homes, and their son, shout out to James English, um, we were all at the dinner table talking, and he's like, "Have you considered Clayton Estates?" Like, and I'm like, "Nah, I never heard of it. I've been traveling all around around this area called Apopka, because there's this big park where they play volleyball. I said, I'm gonna live in this neighborhood. I just felt it like years prior. So I checked it out and I walked in the house, and when I walked in the front door, it just felt for me.
Mm.
It felt for me. It's the model home. I bought the model home. And they always sell the model home last.
Yeah.
And so they sold all the houses except for the house next door to me, and the house was being built across the street from me. And they were like, "Well, we can't sell you this house until all the house inventory are gone." And so I don't want any other house. I want this house. But like I can't. I said I was like, I don't want the house
Figure
next
it
door.
out. Figure it out.
And the house across the street from me is about to be a two-story. I don't want a two-story. It's just me.
Mm.
And um they're like, okay, let me call my boss. And they're
Mm-hmm.
like, she has, and I brought my checkbook. I said, listen, I'll give you some money right
I
now.
love it. I love it. I love it. I love
I
it.
had it with me, and
I
man, what a blessing! What a
love it.
blessing! What a
I
blessing!
I
I got a
think
good deal on this, considering how much the house is worth now. I got a greater deal because it's a single family, not a townhouse, and it was
yes.
at the bottom of the market. It was 2013, right?
Mm,
The market bottomed at 2012,
mm-hmm.
and I bought
Mm-hmm.
it January 2013, like right at the crest coming back up. So I
Yeah,
got
yeah,
it,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
and it's a blessing.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. No, you did good. The Lord was definitely with you. The
yeah,
home single family home values outpace
that's right.
townhomes and condos all day long.
That's right.
So yeah, I
Yep.
never get tired of hearing that story.
It's it's a I passed this house multiple times not knowing that this was my house. Cuz
Mm.
somebody else lived in this neighborhood where we would come to dinner and go to have dinner. I didn't know until one day we had dinner at our house after I bought the house, and it said turn right. I said turn right. I need to turn left. I'm going out the subdivision. I said wait a minute. This was the neighborhood that we used to come to. So you can pass something that's yours for multiple times, not even knowing that it's yours. That's a story right there.
There's a sermon in there somewhere.
There's a sermon somewhere
Oh,
in
sermon in
there.
there somewhere, man.
Get the Hammond organ right now.
Oh man,
So
mercy.
yeah, there must have been a lot of inventory back in 2013. What? Maybe it was, I don't remember. But
I can't speak for Orlando, but actually, we burned through a lot of inventory around between 2008 and 2012 in Miami.
burned.
I mean, it was like we burned through a lot. Like well, let me put it this way: the inventory was really high. Let me reverse it. Actually, from 2008 to 2012 was when we had the highest levels of inventory at that
Mhm.
time, and the prices were at
Ugh,
their
bottom.
lowest.
I remember. I told you a townhouse for
Yeah,
80 grand.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And they had
yeah,
like
yeah.
condos for 20. Oh,
Oh Lord, let me tell you something. I'm sorry, Lord. I didn't mean to take your name in vain. Oh man, let me tell you something. I'll give you a story. There's a place in Miami called Miami Shores, and this is the time where I met a young black woman with two children that has been saving her money throughout the entire hot years of the market. Because man, you put something on the
it would
market
pick
in
up.
2003 to 2007, they
Yeah.
ate it up,
Hmm.
yoked it up, right? And this woman was telling her story. She said she saved her pennies as a social worker, just kept saving her money, friends getting cars, friends getting houses. She kept saving her money, saving her money. Now she lived in the pork and beans, Brownsville subs. For those of you from Miami,
I
you
heard
know
about
what
the
I'm
pork
talking about.
beans. I remember that. Yeah.
Place is
Yeah.
rough. As soon as you drive in there, the whole place looked like tenements. It's a rough place to live. Rough place. And she said she was just saving her pennies. And then I got a call from her out of nowhere. She saw my sign on some home somewhere else and she kept my number. And then she said, I want you to help me find a
Mhm.
house. I'm like, cool, let's do it. So we're out there looking around and I'm seeing all these homes out there. And I said, you know what? There's a good chance we can get you in Miami Shores at this price. And she said, well, who can afford Miami Shores? And I'm like, well, your price range is around 120, 140. You can afford Miami
Wow.
Shores. So we went and we got a 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom home. And I'm going to put this all in perspective
Yeah.
here in a minute. So we got this 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom home. It needed work. And man, she was complaining about a few stuff. She's like, these appliances are old, this and that. But this flooring, I can't live this. I can't. I didn't save my money for this, Brandon. What you brought me out here for? I said, I understand, but trust me, you want to get this home. The school district is amazing, and your kids are where they are at this stage of their life. You can fix all this stuff.
Mhm.
But man, you get your kids into those schools right now, man,
Wow,
10,
that's
10,
powerful.
15 years, you're gonna love it. You're gonna thank God that you came here. And she wound up buying that house. She was complaining all the way, all the way. I remember the closing. She was just rolling her eyes, like, I'm trusting you. I'm like, go, yeah, go ahead and sign the paperwork. You gonna see. So she signed and she got in the house. We helped her move. I connected her with somebody from the church to help with the flooring and the painting, and she turned that house around. Before I left Miami in 2019,
Mhm.
2020, yeah, 2020, we bought it at $125,000. I'll never forget.
Oh my God.
That same home in Miami, 125,000 in a good neighborhood. This same home, you could sell it now for over $500,000. $500,000 in 2020. I don't even want to know how much it's worth now after the boom and all
Yeah.
of that, for the COVID boom.
Wow.
So, I mean, it just that always sticks with me because this is why it's so important. Number one, that you stick to your standards on saving. If you have a set
Stick
standard,
to it.
stick to that standard. And number two, that woman she was telling the time, she was telling that market time before it was a thing to tell black people to hold off on their money to buy. She just instinctively knew that now is a time for saving. And she called me when the time was right. I think I'm ready to buy in a down market. That right there, that God had his fingerprints all over that. But that's a powerful combination. Keep it to your standards and buying at the right time.
This is so powerful, Brandon, because I put in the chat today, this we're in a time, I don't know about real estate necessarily, but just in life, I
Mm-hmm.
feel like we're in the time towards the ending of the 7 year plenty.
Mm-hmm.
Like Joseph, this is biblical principles of, Pharaoh had a dream where there was 7 years of plenty and 7 years of
Mm-hmm.
famine.
Mm-hmm.
I really believe with what's going on with artificial intelligence, Sam Altman talking about, the first robots and things like that are entering the world first now, and they can see the next 5 year. Like, I believe that famine is coming.
Mm.
Like this is the time. This is not the time to be spending frivolously.
Mm.
This is the time for stacking up coins.
Mm. 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 Mm.
I really, 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 really believe it. Like, I was listening to, I love Minority Mindset, and he's like, if you don't have savings, if you have credit card debt, like, you should not be wasting money on frivolous things. You need to start stacking up your coins.
Mm.
Like every grain that you get, put some in the coffers, as Joseph said. This is the time.
1 out of 5. 1 out of 5.
1 out of 5. These are principles that we try to treat them as just as biblical stories and Bible stories, but these are
Mm-hmm.
principles for our life. For every
Mm-hmm.
$10, make sure you put away two.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, the other side of it is, if you find opportunities in your lifetime
Not bad at
that can yeah, if that can increase what you're trying to do and not go against what you're trying to do. Oftentimes we invest, or quote unquote invest, in things, buy things we don't have any business buying, and it goes against our own
right.
principles. But because we have that, that monkey on our back, that immediate
Right.
um, gratification piece, we want to look like we're doing something now. We want to show it a little bit. We buy something that gets in the way of our own success. You have me watching Lehman Brothers documentary on Netflix. Holy what? The Lehman Brothers? Oh, I didn't know they had that. I'm
I need to
watching
watch that,
that.
mommy. How you have Netflix? What's going on? Where you get Netflix from? Let me find out.
That was the 2020. Everybody, mama got Netflix. What you
Listen,
mean?
I've been watching a whole lot of history documentaries on America's businessmen, and I'm telling
Mm,
you, is history. I know we hate history, but history just repeats itself. Like there was this
mhm.
president called McKinley. Do you know the President McKinley that got assassinated?
I heard of him. I didn't know he got
Hmm.
assassinated.
It was
Wow.
he was so the businessmen of the time, the Titans, they made sure they got him because there was another person running for presidency that would have empowered the middle class and poor. And they're like they needed somebody on their side, and they used their money and influence to get him put into office. Uh,
What years? What year was this?
um,
Or what years? Like, what's the time
this is
period?
1889 ish.
1889 ish.
This is you could Google it, but yeah, it was the 1880s.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean J.P. Morgan, like Rockefeller, like the things that the businessmen of today are doing, they were doing the same things.
Mm, wow.
So, but to your point, yeah, I mean, when you get opportunities, you need to purchase things that are to your benefit. I'm talking about depreciable items. I'm
Mm,
talking about spending money on credit cards and things like that.
mm,
That don't go away versus stacking your cheese so that you can have the opportunity to get this inventory. You said 6 months,
mm-hmm,
6 months of inventory. That's a lot.
mm-hmm. Yep. Over 11,000 units. 11,000 units.
So with the high amount of inventory, are the prices low?
Um, they are in a lot of areas. The average price is still pretty steady. They're holding in the 460s. But the median price has always been in the mid threes. There's a huge disparity there for average and median. I think we had a conversation about that a while ago.
Yeah, yeah, that's math right there.
Yeah, but the situation is that they're really low where they're really low, and they're stable where they're stable. Places like Lakeland, very low. Tampa, St. Petersburg, very low right now.
That's
Right,
because of the flooding, right? Or the hurricanes
because of the flooding, because of the
damage.
hurricanes. Yep. There are some people that decided that they've had enough of Florida, and
Yeah.
they've moved. They're selling their home for just enough for them to just get out. They're not concerned
Wow.
so much about making a huge profit. They know what they want. They're going to go ahead and get themselves back into Pennsylvania, New York, whatever northern state they originally came from,
Hmm.
and that's what they're doing.
Those hurricanes were coming back to back to back. Like we closed school twice. For days at a time. I've never experienced that. Multiple school closures for a week. Like we lost like 2 weeks of school. Never experienced that before. So like the hurricanes are coming, so people are like, I've had enough. Especially on that west side, they've been getting hit. Boom, like poor Charlotte, like you said. Boom, 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 boom,
It
boom.
never used to be this way. It
Yeah.
was always Miami that would get Mother Nature
Yes.
would pull drive-bys on Miami. We would get
Right.
no we would get no hurricane drive-bys on this far north
With
and
Tampa.
far west.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
rarely happened. It happened
Yeah.
2-3 years in a row. So, some people have had enough.
Yeah.
Port Charlotte now, I'm sorry, Charlotte County now has the title for highest foreclosure rates in Florida.
Wow.
So, these are all things that are playing a part in the whole drama scene that is our housing market at this time. That's what it is.
Interesting. That's what's going on. Okay. And what you know is Florida. Like you're a realtor for Florida, not Do you know any other areas, or just you're pretty much sticking with Florida?
I dabble a little bit. I hear good things about Texas.
Mm.
Um, I hear that as bad as we are, well, I can tell you this. This is the first time they pull out they publish a report every year around the end of the year, which is I think it's done by Newsweek, if I'm not mistaken, and it's basically the best places to live in the United States in terms of housing prices, cost of living, all the metrics that families look into, right? And for the first time, there was no Florida city on this list.
Wow.
Top 10 list, no Florida city.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
So it's I what I do is I I zoom in on Florida and I zoom out on the United States. I'm looking at the general for everything outside the state, but I'm paying attention on the micro level for Florida. That's what I do.
I love Florida. I love the sunshine. I love the green. I love that we get water. I know the water hurts us sometimes in the year, but life you can exist in Florida. There ain't no like
I ain't leaving.
sunshine, rain,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
plants.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we need to live. Okay. So,
Oh man. They also
yeah,
got mosquitoes
I
and
know.
crocodiles.
I know. Because they could live here. Like
They can live here.
crocodiles and alligators can't live in Wisconsin.
Tropical climate. Absolutely.
That's the
Look,
only place where reptiles could live.
I've been looking for a negative report for Florida. That way we can keep our state together, man. We need less people coming here.
I know.
Traffic is getting too terrible. We need more of these reports. I need like a full 3 to 4 years of Florida not being on any list for housing.
There you go. That sounds good. That
Three,
sounds
four
good.
years. Let's plan that, America. Let's
Yeah, you can still yeah. Let's keep our gem on the down low. I was thinking
keep
of
our state out your mouth. Let me stop.
yeah.
A little bit last year, a little bit last year. We
Yeah,
move forward. We move forward. We move forward. Move forward. 2025. We ain't in the back no more. We go for
inside joke, y'all. Inside joke.
Don't tell nobody.
Inside joke, y'all.
We living life after the slap now. We done. We done with that. We done with that. We done with that. We done with that.
Yo, I'm thinking about, so in my vision, I have one more house to purchase. I was thinking about doing buying a rental property, but I've changed my mind on this. I'm thinking my mother and I have two homes already, and I'm thinking about buying my final home, preferably with somebody, married with somebody. If not, then I'll just buy a final home and rent out these two homes.
Okay. You're gonna
That,
move your
that
mother in to your final
yeah,
house?
yeah.
Oh wow, that's so cool.
That's the vision. Um, and then rent the two because I won't have mortgages for either one of these.
That's a smart plan.
So that's the plan. So I was thinking, like, where in Florida? That's like where in Florida? Because it's gonna be Florida, God
Yeah, yeah,
willing.
yeah.
Where in Florida? Like, where's the inventory? I was thinking Claremont. What do you think about Claremont? Is that a good spot? Like, where
I like
you don't
Claremont. Claremont is stable. Claremont is
Claremont is a
stable.
stable spot? Okay.
They
Well,
haven't
like
had.
okay, go ahead.
I was gonna say they haven't had too much craziness in their market. No, like
Yeah.
extreme drops in value over the last 10 years. People that move there, they typically stay there.
Yeah. I yeah. What are other places where you said there's a whole bunch of inventory? You said there's a whole bunch of bad inventory. What am I say bad? Injured inventory in the West Coast.
Damaged goods, damaged goods.
Where are the other spots? And then I gotta go because 9:30, the Nvidia CEO It's coming on. Gotta watch
Okay,
that. I,
okay,
I
okay.
posted it in the chat for Phenomenal Financial Freedom.
What's it called again?
It's Nvidia. I don't know. It's his keynote speech. Jensen.
Okay, okay.
He artificial intelligence guy. He's talking about.
Text
But
me that.
yeah.
But text me info on that. Maybe I'll tune in.
Okay.
But places. If you're looking for a good deal, get as much home as you want at a low price. Lakeland is number one on the list.
Lakeland.
Lakeland
Okay.
is number one on the list. First of all, Polk County is one of the only counties in Florida that has experienced, what was it? They had more people moving there in 2024 than any other county in Florida. Polk County. And
Polk
that's
County.
Polk County. That's the home of Lakeland, Polk City, and a whole bunch of other cities you ain't never heard of.
I know. It's like, isn't that like
Sounds-
deep in the country?
It sounds rednecky. It
It
does.
sounds
It does.
rednecky.
It sounds
Yeah.
rednecky. But there's a strong Latin community there. A lot of Miami people have moved there.
Got
Right.
you.
So it's the area is becoming more balanced demographics wise, right? So if you're somebody that wants to stay in the area, they have a lot of new building homes up there. You want to get something that is new and less expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I would recommend Lakeland. I'd recommend Lakeland.
Lakeland. Okay.
I like Davenport. If you're
I
somebody
like
that
I was thinking about Davenport.
Davenport is nice. You just got to deal with the traffic, though. You got to make
I
sure that
know.
you don't get by that exit, that weird exit, man, that holds up all
Disney.
of that
All those
whole
Disney people.
area. Those three exits that they got some three treacherous exits right there. You want to stay away from. But
Yeah.
Davenport is great. I also really like. I've been preaching Tampa for a minute. I've always liked Tampa. I'm biased. Man.
They getting hit with hurricanes too much.
I
On
mean,
the coast.
this is where we at. This is the state that hangs down all in the tropics, man. We're gonna be getting it. But Tampa, I like Tampa, and so if you're trying to stay in the Orlando area, so if I had to give
Yeah,
you
I want to stay in the Central Florida. Central this way, central this way. Try to keep away from getting hit by these
Lakeland, Lakeland's where you want to be. Davenport's where you want to be, and I would look into Altamont Springs. I go there.
I just feel like Altamont is just too expensive.
It's not expensive everywhere.
Okay.
I was looking at some of these. Now, I don't always endorse townhomes. I strictly do single
I'm not a
family.
fan of Tom. Yeah, I'm not a fan of townhomes.
Strictly.
Because of the HOA, I think the HOA is killing people for the townhomes and the condos. They're just
Condos I
going
stay
up,
away
up,
from.
up, up.
Condos I stay away from entirely. I don't
Yeah.
mess with condos at all.
Yeah.
But by the way, that's something you want to watch in 2025, the condo market. The condo
Oh my
market,
God.
we have a serious problem with the condo market.
Yeah. It's going
we
crazy.
we
Because
can
of
do
the
a
new rules.
the new rules in
There's some
terms
new
of
rules.
insurance.
Yeah. There's new rules with it and the HOA, and it's crazy.
Well, they have an insurance issue because of all that had happened in Surfside in Miami, right?
Miami, exactly.
That whole thing went down. They changed the rules in terms of certification. So if your building is over 40 years old, you have to have it recertified, which means
Yep.
you have to go through a series of really expensive inspections,
Yep.
structural integrity reports, and all this other stuff. And when cost goes up in a condo, the maintenance goes up in a condo.
That's right.
And all that stuff goes up, then the insurance is going to
Bills go up.
It all matriculates. However, I could say that for condos. Townhomes, not that much. They still increase, but it's not at a rate as your condos increase because it's a different housing product. I've seen some very good deals on townhomes, and they're just as big as any home. Many of them have your garages and all that stuff. So you can get a 2,000, 2,500 square foot townhome for somewhere in the low 300s to high 200s in Altamont. it's just inventory that people are sleeping on,
Got
and
you.
when it's slept on, the prices go down, and that just
Down.
makes it a good deal.
Got you.
Yeah, yeah,
Got
yeah,
you. Okay.
yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. Other than
Anything
that,
else you want? Anything else you want to say as we close?
as we close, still a great buyer's market. It's going to be this way, I believe, all the way through 2025, unless two things happen. Number one, the pending sales bails us out. Number two, the interest rates go down out of nowhere precipitously. Like we're
Yeah.
in the fives or something.
Right.
Unless one of those two things happen, we're going to be dealing with this all year long.
Oh
So
yeah.
it's still a really good time to buy. It's still a really good time to invest. If you have the wherewithal to do so, I do what you got to do and call me.
Oh, hold on. Let me get your caption. Hold on.
Ma'am, yes, ma'am, yes,
Let
ma'am.
me get your account. You call Tower Team Realty
Mm-hmm.
before it closes. Uh, at
Gmail.
Team Realty Orlando before it closes at gmail.com 305 305 0105.
Mm-hmm.
Listen,
Mm-hmm.
get your coins together. This is the time to get your coins together. Stop wasting your money. Start chucking away those coins
Mm-hmm.
so that
Mm-hmm.
when the time is right, you could call before close and say, "Listen, I'm ready to buy."
And we ready for you. We ready. We are ready. Lord have mercy. If you're selling your home, if you're looking at selling your home right now, unless you really got to sell, I would sit this one out. Sit it out for a little while. Chill. Unless you got
Interesting.
if you ain't got to sell, don't sell.
So you're saying to now is not a time to sell.
Yeah, I wouldn't sell right now. I would not want to
Wow.
be in the sales market right now. Again, you sell when the market is hot.
Yeah,
That's where we make the most money. When the market is
interesting.
down, this is a buyer's time to shine.
Got you. I love that. Love that advice. If you're trying to sell, sit this one out.
Sit it out. Sit it out.
That's
Take it from
powerful.
me. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I am the phenomenal STEMist, and so is he. M for mathematics,
Mm-hmm.
making money.
Mm-hmm. Three M's, baby. Three M's. Mm. Here to serve. Here to serve. God bless y'all.
Good night, everybody.